νομίζω κάνει φοβερή δουλειά στην Ομόνοια.
And we called taxi, and with Kilian, I opened the door behind, I put him in the taxi, and I closed the door, and I want to go inside, and Kilian go out.
You're gonna get someone messaging you afterwards saying, "Why did you mention me?"
Hey, fuck them.
She say, I cry because you are here today.
Πάμε να κάνουμε φτιάχνε μαύρεγα από τα μέσα.
And welcome to a very special edition of the No Chof Des podcast. I'm Stel. You should know me by now. I always host these things. But I've got a very special guest here. This young man, because he's a young man compared to me anyway. I'm in my 40s, Jesus Christ. This guy has played for AS Roma, Manchester United. He's playing in Israel at this moment in time. Davide Petrucci. David, what's going on, brother? You good?
Very good, brother. Yourself?
Yeah, man, all good. Well, we've had a bit of rubbish news the past couple of weeks at my club. Henningberg got sacked and we're talking to a new manager at the moment, and I don't think it's going down well with the fans at this moment in time. But, hey, listen, we're not here to talk about this. We're here to talk about you, man. And thanks for jumping on. Really appreciate it. How's life in Israel? I know you're back home in Italy now, yeah? Is that right?
Yes. I had a time off. Now I'm in Italy. I'm with my family for a certain time, but everything is good. Also in Israel is, I'm enjoying my experience. It's a completely different country, different weather, different, culture. So for me, I always been, with this mentality, looking forward to new experiences, new stuff. And yes, I'm enjoying it.
If I'm not mistaken, you played against Anorthosis this season, didn't you, for Be'er Sheva?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. At start of season, this was the last game before going into Conference League. We should have won at home, but we drew there. And after we went to play in Cyprus, it was, this type of game where everything which can go against you went against us. And, we had red card first half, penalty, all these type of things, and we went out. But, overall, it was a good experience. We should have done more, but yes, it was a good experience also this.
Brilliant. Well, look, bro, let's talk about the beginning of your career, because I remember you at AS Roma before you joined United, and, a lot of people were saying, oh, this lad is going to be the next Totti. And when I heard that, I was thinking, that's a bit unfair on the lad. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, those are big shoes to fill. So you're at AS Roma. I know you didn't break into the first team, but Spaletti was head coach at the time, wasn't he, with Totti there? What was that experience for you? Because if I'm not mistaken, you're a Roma fan, is that right?
Yes, correct. Yes, it was my dream, because I'm from Roma, and all I wanted in my career was to make it through the first team, It was my biggest dream. So for me, they signed me when I was 10, and I played all my youth system there until I was 16. It was a huge experience, I was making what I liked the most, playing football, but above all, it was for my team, for the team I supported. I would have died for this team. So it was an amazing experience. But of course, this is the mistake maybe journalists make, when they see one good young prospect to be, maybe someone in the future, they start to put, the names on them, it's going to be the new Totti, new Messi, new Ronaldinho. I mean, each player is different from one another, and when you grow up, you need to enjoy football. Not thinking I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna be that, and this is not fair. I think on the kid who is growing, and it's not fair also for these legends who make the history. To be compared to a young kid that you will never know if they're gonna make it or not. But
yeah,
for me, it was a very proud moment to be compared to such a huge legend. For me, it was my idol. So. It's something amazing. In the future, after this, I had the chance to speak to him, and I say to him, to Totti, even for me to be mentioned next to him, and I didn't make it such as him, but for me it was a big honor.
What's he like as a person? Because one of my closest friends, Foshi, he loves Totti, absolutely loves him, and yeah, I know he's going to be asking you, why didn't you ask him about Totti? So I'm doing it for Fosh, right?
For me, it's a legend, a living legend, and I seem like a really idol. When I watch him play for the first time, I was feeling this is what I want to be in the future, like a football player. Never mind like him, but I know it's difficult, but a player who represents the city that everybody loves. It's amazing, and he's a very funny person, very easy person. Nothing is not big-headed or something. It's very funny. So for me, after I had the opportunity to come abroad, I went back to Roma sometimes, and I met him. For me, it was an amazing feeling. And every time I see him, he's maybe one of the very few people that when I meet him, I feel, oh my God, this person is amazing.
Starstruck.
Yes.
Brilliant. Well, very quickly, I'm taking you still follow Roma. Top 6 at the moment with Mourinho. Do you think they can sneak into the Champions League spots, or do you think maybe that's a little bit too far?
To be honest, I'm a big Roma fan, but honestly, this season I don't think they will make it through the Champions League. I don't see them to go that far. I hope for them, but there are teams better organized than them, and they've been more consistent during the season. So they have the chance because they have good players. They have a top coach, and the team is a team with a lot of supporters. If things go well, this fight up very easily. But at the moment, they're not being consistent week in, week out. So I'm not sure they will get in the Champions League. I wish, but I'm not sure.
And what about Spaletti? Because he's doing a really good job at Napoli at the moment. I think they're only 3 points off the top.
Yes. Yesterday they lost, probably the most important game of the season, because if they won yesterday against AC Milan, they would be first. They have a good team. They play very well. They're organized. For me, they have chance this year. Even though I think the biggest team, the best team now is Inter Milan, in my opinion. But also AC Milan, they have big chance. These 3 teams, they will fight until the end.
What do you make of Spalletti? Was he a hands-on coach? Did you speak to him much?
No, I don't speak to him, but I was really, really young when I was there. I was 15, 16, and I had the chance to train with them a couple of times. It was amazing, but for me it was, everything was amazing there. I was very young, and you see everybody with different eyes, Now, I do this job now for a while, and it's different. But when you are so young, you don't really realize what's going on next to you, around you. So I was just in love with everything, This is the feeling.
Well, look, I know a lot of people are going to be asking me, well, why don't you just get on to talking about Man United? Because he had a great spell in the youth academy, reserves, and all that kind of stuff. And you played with some fantastic players. I mean, obviously Pogba being one of them, Ravel Morrison, who didn't live up to the expectations. What was that experience like at United, at Carrington, all the players that were there at the time, your Keanes, your Van Nistelrooys, etc.?
Amazing. Also another amazing experience, when I was in Rome, all I wanted to be was to be there, but when Manchester United come and knocks at your door, you can't say no. It was amazing team. Back then, it's still a huge club, but in those years they won Champions League, they were winning World Cup, everything possible. They were winning Premier League, everything. So it was an amazing experience for me. And when I came, I started well for the research, for the academy. I was really enjoying everything. I was, trying to learn as much as possible to use it for the future. But, it's very difficult to make it there also. We are speaking about one of the biggest clubs in the world. So, I enjoy a lot the experience, but to be stable in the first team is something else. I had the luck to be with such important players like Pogba or Lingard, now he's playing there, but many other also. And I learned a lot. But in your career and your life, there are some steps that sometimes can define your career. You know, maybe if those steps go in the right way, it's easier to make it. If those steps goes against you, it's more difficult. You know, and it's never easy for nobody to, you know, to be there all the time. So for me, it was a nice, you know, part of my life. But you know, now I go forward with other things, and I'm still enjoying playing football. This is the most important thing for me.
Absolutely. And, you know, at Omonoia, we've got a lot of promising young players breaking through. One of them, Marino Johnny, has gone to Sporting Kansas City. We've got Loizo, Banoyodo. We've got a whole heap of younger players. And what I've been saying on this podcast is that it's very important for these young players to not only to work hard, to keep their feet on the ground, because, you know, as you can imagine, you've played in Turkey, Italy, Israel. Football, these are hotbeds. Do you know what I mean? And fans are very, very demanding, and they want their youngsters to progress. But at the same time, that level of fame it can get to some players' heads, you know? So when it comes to giving players advice, what would you say to younger players who perhaps have just broken into the first team, are getting matches for the national team, but still need to be a little bit grounded, so to speak?
No, I think the most important thing in football and in life is to find the balance, you know? Never be too happy when things go well, never be too sad when things don't go well. Because otherwise it's very difficult to lose, you know, your path, because it's like a roller coaster after, you know? You need to be stable, you need to be, you know, work hard, have a target, try to achieve it, you know? But in my opinion, the way I see things, you know, you need to be calm also, and, you know, when you work hard and you do things the way it's meant to be done, eventually it will be good for you, you know. But you don't need to stress too much if things don't go well, or if somebody or something goes against you, you know. Sooner or later, when you work hard, you will achieve your things, in my opinion.
Bro, I remember you had spells at Peterborough, you had spells at Antwerp, if I'm not mistaken, Charlton. So you kind of learnt the first team football ways at various clubs. Now, coming from Italy to Manchester United, I'm guessing the club treated you very, very well in terms of the way they looked after you, because that's the general feeling I get from many former United players that played in the academy. But you went to Peterborough, as I mentioned. These are lower league clubs. What was that like for you, for your development?
I think, you know, it's a part of the development, as you said, and I think every young player need to experience this, you know. Of course, if you are amazing player, amazing talent, and you can go directly to the first team, good for you. But otherwise, it's a steps that can teach you a lot, you know. And sometimes you learn more from the bad experiences, or from the experiences that, you know, apparently they're not so good, because then maybe even if you see things how you don't want to be in the future, you know. But for me, it was a good experience both times, you know. I learned, I try to listen to the older people, I try, you know, to make my own stuff, and, you know, learn from this is always the best thing you can do. When you're young, listen to everybody, you know what you want, but also be open for the others to give you advice and try to make you as a better player and better person.
Bro, how have you changed your game over the years? Because I remember when you were in the youth teams, you're more like an attacking midfielder, but you're what they call a centrocampista, really, like a central midfielder. But has your game changed from a defensive element as well?
Yes, you know, with the time I went more backwards, you know, and I started more offensive player, and I don't know exactly how or why, but, you know, with the time I felt my position was more behind. Maybe because, you know, with the modern football, everything is so fast, so sharp, so, you know, aggressive, and this is not my main characteristic. You know, I lacked a little bit of this. So I was feeling maybe dropping a few meters, I had more tempo, and I had more chance to be involved in the game. And physically also I developed a little bit more, and you know, I felt now I could have done more also defense part, and I'm enjoying my game, playing a little bit more behind now. But, you know, now really for me it's important to be inside the pitch. You know, if a coach asks me to play anywhere, I would play, because the feeling to play football is the best for me. And unfortunately, when I was younger, I had a few long injuries, And this, how can I say, made me feel that, after that was only important to be on the pitch. Now the position was not important. Everything else was not so important, like to be on the pitch and enjoy the game.
Okay, my friend, I know you've got a few more minutes, so I'm going to fire over some names. I want to give some names. I want you to tell me, like, in a few words, how you can describe these people. And the first name I want to give is Sir Alex. What was he like?
The boss. He was the boss. The boss. He was the boss. Everybody called him the boss, but he had the amazing way to treat the people the same. Like, even if he was, top, but he was making feel everybody welcome, everybody secure under him. Everybody was part of the family. It was amazing because I saw him treating, big stars like a young player, like, when he has to shout to them, he did it. And also to speak to the young player like he was a big star sometimes. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Like, he knew how to find the balance for everybody. And, he was in control of everything. For me, it was, wow, what a person. Amazing, really. Amazing.
So when you first joined the club, I take it he met you and took you around the ground, because I've heard a lot of things about how he treats the younger players. It's almost as if he integrates them into the club straight away, the moment they walk through the door.
Yes, he was completely in control of everything. He knew everything. He knew the names of the players. He was watching, training. He knows everything, and this makes you feel, wow, that's why he's the best. For me, he's the best in the history of football. He's the best manager. Sometimes what happened in my career, to go somewhere and maybe the coaches, they feel big person, and they don't treat the younger the same. Him was amazing because he was treating everybody the same. Of course, he knew he had more confidence with other players, but he was making feel everybody part of the family, and this is why I think United was so successful in those years, because everybody was going the same direction,
Or I'll give you another name, and I don't want to put you on the fence here, Pogba. Now, you and I had this conversation about Paul last week. I had the privilege to interview him a few years ago, and he seemed like such a top bloke. And the one thing that stood out for me most is that during the event that I was at, prior to interviewing him, he was constantly looking over to one side because his mum was in the corner with his mate. So you can tell he's a very family-oriented guy. And I think it was not long after his father passed as well. But for him to join United as a young age, very similar to you, I'm guessing, you guys got on and you guys were able to kind of coexist.
Yes. Oh, we have an incredible relationship because, when he came to Manchester, we actually lived in the same house, me and him. So
you taught him Italian then?
Yes. This is a true story. When he went to Juventus, he already knew some words, some bad words also. And
I'm not going to ask which ones.
How? And this is how, because we were teaching each other, some words. But of course, when you learn another language, the bad words are the first to,
Standard.
We know how it works. And but yes, no, it's a top guy. It's very good person for me, and we spend a lot of times together. And in this age when everything is new for you, you are growing. You learn a lot. For both of us, was, in my opinion, important to have each other. We still speak to each other, and for me, what he made after was incredible because World Cup champion. What do you want more? So for me, I'm very happy about him. For him.
Do you know what? I was very surprised to see him play as a number 10 yesterday against Man City with Fernandes, and I just think that he's such a talented player, and it's such a shame that he hasn't reached the levels at Man United, which everyone thinks, because let's be real, when he joined United as a youngster, there were high hopes for him. Okay, it didn't work for whatever reason. And then he came back, all right, won the Europa League, did well in the League Cup. And it's almost as if he's been carrying United for the past couple of seasons. And Fernandes coming in has obviously helped alleviate some pressure. But I just think that, it's such a shame that he hasn't been able to top everything that he could have done, because he's such a great player, man.
Oh, for me, he's complete in every aspect. You know, if you see the potential of the guy, it's incredible because he's strong. He's a good technique. He can shoot. He can make everything. Now I don't know. In my opinion, is when one club buy you for such amount of money, the expectation is always very high. And if you don't perform 1-2 games, everybody start to criticize you because everybody's expecting a lot from you, and United is a huge club and the fans love this club more than everything, so I understand. But okay, maybe he could have done more, but he won the World Cup, he won many things, he won 4 leagues in Italy, he won the Europe League. Okay, he can do more, but he could have done also less, so
Exactly.
It's not easy.
Absolutely. Well, mate, one more thing before I let you go, and I'm going to take a leaf out of the Italian Football Pod book because I know Nima, my good friend Nima, is going to be watching this. Pineapple on pizza. Yes or no?
No.
Good. I'm glad you said that.
and I tell you one story. I was reading with you said pineapple on pizza, yes?
No.
I was living with my brother in Manchester, and he bought pizzas. He was cooking pizza, and in Italy we have pizza with potatoes and ham. But he bought this pizza. It was pineapple and ham. So he put in the oven, and the ham and the pizza was warming, and the pineapple was still very yellow. But he was thinking it was potatoes, And he said, "How is possible these potatoes don't get cooked?" When he put out, it was everything black apart from this pineapple. After this, he said, "I didn't know that you can put pineapple on this pizza." It was fun because in Italy we make like this if you make pineapple on the pizza.
Amazing. And one more thing I can't not ask. Yeah, when you were in Manchester, did you go to Macari's? Did you go to Macari's? Yeah?
Sometimes not too much.
Not too much. Bro, listen, thank you so much for your time, man. Really, really appreciate it. Before I let you go, do you have any social media you might want to plug? You might have some people following you that are Omonoia fans, might be bombarding you with messages. Tell us more.
Oh, I have the only one I use sometimes is Instagram, but
I'll add your Instagram in the synopsis section, man.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Brilliant. It was a big pleasure for me to speak to you.
No, pleasure's all mine, amico. Honestly. Well, that's it, Gobaglia. Another interview in the books. Thank you to David for joining us. Don't forget, like, subscribe, tell your nonna. I know in Italy, nonna is your grandmother, but nonna in Cyprus is your godmother. Tell her, because we don't go for grandmothers. Because they're a bit of an older generation. They won't know how to use YouTube. I don't know. Well, that's it for another one. So until next time, I'm a shilla.